Hey everybody, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete, and this is my series, Nails in a Coffin, where we learned that with great kills, there must also come great nails. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. If you are new here, you can read what Nails in a Coffin is all about in the section down below, because my videos are not film reviews, rather a breakdown of the kills and evaluate how well the victim responded to their attack. I know what you're thinking, wondering why the hell do I look like this? Well, here's a look at what happened at the end of my last week's video.
I'll see you here next week when I cover Cult of Chucky, another movie that was released.
Give me the power, I beg of you.
So obviously I got to figure some stuff out. I've got a plan. I think I can figure it out because I did find a harder Dumbala. So hopefully by the end of this video, I can get back to normal. But on with the show.
As you know, I'm making my way through the Child's Play franchise. I only have 2 more films to cover till I get to the Golden Nail Awards. Covering the newest of all the Don Mancini Chucky films today, Cult of Chucky. Here's a look at the average nails in a coffin for all the movies I've covered so far. And you can see that Curse of Chucky has the lowest average last week's film with only 1 nail in the coffin. And the other films are very close to each other, with the exception of Child's Play 3, which had the highest average, 2.43 nails, because there really wasn't a lot of stupid decisions in that movie. At the end of Curse of Chucky, we were reintroduced to Andy Barclay, still being played by Alex Vincent. Cult of Chucky starts with Andy on a date. The date doesn't go well, and the young lady starts to question Andy about his past with Chucky. It's the age of the internet and background checks, and it's just too much for the young lady, and she leaves the date. Andy goes home, he grabs a beer, and he's looking at his framed sweatshirt from Kent Military Academy, and then removes it from the wall, which reveals a safe. He opened the safe, and there's Chucky's head with the gunshot wound from the end of Curse of Chucky. Andy sits down across from Chucky's head, and they have a short conversation as Andy is enjoying a joint. Andy gives Chucky a hit off the joint, but when Andy pulls the joint away, Chucky snaps at him, just trying to mess with him. Andy says, "You want to play?" And he gets a blowtorch. He tells Chucky that there's nothing like spending a Friday night with your best friend. And he tortures the good guy as we lead into the title card. Nika, she was transferred from the psychiatric hospital for criminally insane to a medium security facility. The predominant color of white in this facility is a stark contrast to the way Curse of Chucky looked, and I really do enjoy it. Our first kill doesn't happen until about 31 minutes into the film. Angela, one of the patients, was found by hospital staff with her wrist slashed with a piece of metal from Nika's wheelchair. Chucky made the murder look like Angela unalived herself, and he knew that she was mentally unstable like most people in this hospital, and he was bold leaving a message making it look like it was from Angela saying that Chucky did it. Her death was off screen, so I can't give it a nail rating. Claire was fed up with all the talk about Chucky, and after one of the group therapy sessions, she grabs the good guy. She's about to throw him down the trash chute till Chucky bites her arm and she drops him on the floor. This is right as Dr. Foley approaches, and he thinks Claire is harming herself again. She says that Chucky did it, which results in the doctor having an orderly take Claire away. Claire is now strapped to a gurney, sedated, and placed in a room all by herself so she can just calm down. The doctor, for reasons, left Chucky in the room with Claire, which is kind of odd since he was, what got her upset. And he pops up on her side holding a can of compressed gas. And then he goes over to the foot of the gurney, looks at her, throws the can on the floor. This breaches the can, shoots it up into the skylight above Claire. In a beautifully shot sequence, the glass slowly falls down on top of Claire and a shard decapitates her. After some thought, I'm going to give Claire a pass. She didn't do anything wrong. She was in the hospital for treatment, and her reaction to discovering Chucky was alive was completely justified. The tragedy is that nobody believed her, and once she was strapped to the bed, there was absolutely nothing she can do. She was sedated and helpless, and she could only watch in horror as Chucky made his move. I'm glad I revisited the rating system, adding the pass back in, because it's a solid way to reflect on moments like this. Calling this a 2-nail kill just didn't see right, especially since the victim was completely innocent with no chance to defend themselves. So, Claire's getting a pass. Let's see if the next victim gets some nails. That victim is Madeline. She is Chucky, and she believes the good guy is actually her child, treating him like an infant. Chucky deceives her into cradling him like a baby, and in a weird twist, she willingly lets him kill her. Chucky takes his tiny hand and shoves it down her throat, strangling her to death, and then Nurse Ashley finds her shortly after, with Chucky's severed arm shoved all the way down her throat. Madeline was in a fragile mental state, and Chucky took advantage of that, and some unalivings are difficult to rate on nails in a coffin, which I'm also going to give Madeline a pass. There's nothing that she did here that I can say was foolish or stupid. It's obvious she had her mental issues, and she wasn't of sound mind. Chucky's just an evil son of a bitch and used that to his advantage to kill her, so There's nothing she did wrong here, so I'm also going to give her a pass. Chucky definitely has some new tricks up his sleeve, so now he can transfer his soul into multiple places all at the same time. Currently, Nika has a straitjacket on and has 3 different Chuckies surrounding her. Nurse Carlos walks into the room and he's frozen with fear. Nika tells him to run, but all 3 Chuckies rush at him and they start stabbing him in the legs. Once he falls to the floor, all the good guys continue to stab him to death with various weapons. Nurse Carlos is going to get us some nails, and I'm only going to be able to give him 1 nail in the coffin. He gets the first set of nails for the film because the previous people got passes. Carlos did what a lot of people do in this franchise when they see Chucky for the first time, they freeze. But you have to move and try something if you're being attacked. He just didn't do anything. Again, he forgot he had arms once he was on the floor. He didn't even try and defend himself. Which sucks because I really like Nurse Carlos's character, and it was sad to see him go without putting up any fight. So, you to do that, you can't. I have no choice here. So, reluctantly, I have to give Carlos only 1 nail in the coffin. We don't have to wait long till our next kill, as one of the security guards who's patrolling the grounds outside notices an unattended car sitting out in front of the asylum. He walks up to the car to investigate. He looks inside, doesn't see anybody there, except for the Tiffany doll sitting in the back seat. Then Tiffany herself, still in the body of Jennifer Tilly, shows up behind him and slashes his throat with her signature move. This unnamed guard is awarded 2 nails in the coffin. He was doing his job, and he really wasn't being careless. He did see an unattended vehicle out in front of the asylum, and he looked inside to investigate. He was snuck up on from behind, but Tiffany's just really good at that. I mean, you can't argue that maybe he needed better situational awareness, but this one felt like a 2 nail in the coffin kill since there wasn't anything blatantly, stupid or foolish that I saw him do that I really shouldn't give him any less. So, yeah, I'm only going to give him those 2 nails in the coffin. One of the more despicable characters in the entire franchise is next, Dr. Foley. Previously, he was just knocked out when Chucky broke a glass bottle over his head. Right now, Chucky is performing the Heart of Damballa ritual, transferring his soul into Nika's body. The ritual works, and Chucky/Nika stands up out of the wheelchair. Chucky is enjoying his new body, and he walks over to the doctor, who's starting to come to. He stands over the doctor's head and tells him, "This is for Nika," and then he stomps on the doctor's head till it just turns into a pile of mush. This piece of crap doctor is only going to get, 1 nail in the coffin. It was 100% his fault that he was in this predicament. He was knocked out earlier because he was being a creep, trying to S.A. Nika. And then when he came to, also, he forgot he had arms. Never defended himself. Dumbass scumbag. Not much else to say about him. He was a piece of crap. He barely deserves the 1 nail in the coffin as it is. And this is one of the most satisfying deaths in the entire franchise. Only one more on-screen human death to go, and it's Multiple Malcolm. Chucky/Nika is making her way out of the asylum. On the way out, they run into Malcolm. Malcolm shows Chucky that he killed Nurse Ashley. He tells Chucky that he's Charles, but Chucky just calls him a fake and a poser. This kind of breaks Malcolm's mind, and he falls to his knees acting very confused. Nurse Ashley was killed off screen. We didn't actually see how Malcolm attacked her or killed her, so I can't give her a nail rating. Malcolm says he can hear Chucky inside his head. Then one of the Chucky dolls uses a drill to drill in the back of Malcolm's head and out his eye socket, killing the poor man. He was our final human death, and I'm going to give Malcolm 1.5 nails in a coffin. This death just didn't feel like a pass. Yeah, he was mentally ill like Claire and Madeline. But even if he did think he was Chucky, it felt like he killed Nurse Ashley just to get the attention from it. And of all the kills that Chucky did in this asylum, I think Malcolm had the best chance for survival, or at least the best chance to give up some fight. He does deserve a little higher than 1 nail in the coffin since he was ill, but it just didn't feel like a 2 nail in the coffin kill, so this is where 1.5 nails in the coffin feels right. Let's wrap things up here. Andy is confronted by one of the Chucky dolls in his padded cell. Andy and Chucky go for each other. Chucky striking first by throwing a knife into Andy's leg. He then kicks the knife at his leg and it slams into the wall. Andy grabs Chucky before he can get the knife, and he starts ripping the good guy's stomach open. Andy pulls out a gun, shoots Chucky in his stomach a few times, and then once in the head. He then finishes the doll off by stomping on his head till it's a pile of nothing. It's been a few movies since I've nailed Chucky. Even though there were a few of him now, I'm still going to give this one here 1.5 nails in a coffin. It was just very easy to kill Chucky here. In the past, he took a lot of damage. It was hard to kill the good guy. Chucky's supposed to have the strength of a normal human, even in his doll form, so not sure why he couldn't fight harder against Andy. Maybe it's because his soul was into multiple places. I'm not sure, but he didn't put much of a fight up like he had in the past, so I don't know. I'm really only going to give him that 1.5 nails in a coffin. And the movie ends with Chucky / Nico walking out of the asylum and meeting up with Tiffany. They get in a car and Tiffany brings up Alice, Nico's niece, hinting that she may not be alive anymore. Chucky says, F that kid. And the couple starts to laugh. In the back of the car is a Tiffany doll, and then all three of them start laughing as the car drives away. In another end credit scene, we see somebody pulling up to Andy's place and Stitch Chucky's head is still sitting on the table. It's the return of Kyle from Child's Play 2, and she tells Chucky they're going to have some fun, right as the screen cuts to black. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all my Nails in a Coffin 4, Cult of Chucky. Here's a summary of all the nails I've awarded. Here's a look at the average nails in a coffin for all the real Child's Play films. You can see that Cult of Chucky came in slightly lower than Bride, which is slightly lower than Child's Play 2, and Seed of Chucky. Curse of Chucky still has the lowest with only a 1 nail in the coffin average across all the kills in that movie. And I don't see the remake beating Child's Play 3. There just wasn't a lot of stupid decisions by the victims in Child's Play 3. So, those are all of our average for all the real Child's Play films.
Okay, I gotta get out of his body, so I might as well try this. Ade dui dumbala. Give me the power, I beg of you. Levo monsieur dubois cholat. Se cose atene mas por de morte. Mortesi malo de vosa de moi vochet.
Okay, it worked. Whew, okay. That feels great to be back to normal. I'll see you here next week when I cover a film I never wanted to see again, the 2019 Child's Play remake. And I'll be honest, I did not like that film at all. Didn't want to have to watch it again, but since I'm recovering this franchise, I'm going to have to give it another shot. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. It really helped me out. I do appreciate it. Until next week, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I'm back to being your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete. And remember, with great kills, there must also come great nails.